Welcome to the latest NWSL in 10. My name is Jason Longshore. Thanks for finding us here on the SDH Network. We will recap Week 4 and get you set for Week 5 of the NWSL season that starts later this afternoon. Let's get into the top 10 things you need to know about the NWSL this week, starting with number 1. The Utah Royals. They are on the top of the table right now after a 1-0 win at Rio Tinto Stadium over the Chicago Red Stars. The Royals remain perfect. 3 wins, 9 points. Goalkeeper Nicole Barnhart is yet to concede a goal in 270 minutes of action in 2019. Chicago made this one difficult, though. Amy Rodriguez ended up being the heroine for Utah. She converted a great cross from Gunny Johnsdottir to win the match in the 84th minute. It was an outstanding finish from Rodriguez. Chicago will feel aggrieved by a 42nd minute red card to Katie Johnson for elbowing Royals midfielder Vero Boquete in the face. The replays were not 100% conclusive. Looked like maybe it was a difficult decision for the referee crew. They showed the red card to Johnson. Chicago had to play shorthanded, and they fought hard, but they could not keep Amy Rodriguez and the Royals off the board. Utah, 9 points in 3 matches, about as good as it gets for the Royals right now. Number 2 on our list, the defending champions, the North Carolina Courage. They are 1 point behind the Royals. They've played one more match, and this is after their scoreless draw against Sky Blue FC at Solon Stadium last Saturday night. The Courage hit the post twice, but then they needed a clearance off the line by defender Merritt Matthias in the 90th minute to preserve that point. Don't look now, but Sky Blues picked up points off the 2 NWSL championship finalists last year in back-to-back weeks. They're still looking for their first win, but there's a lot of progress in New Jersey at the moment. Sky Blue also made a big announcement this week, signing defender Gina Lewandowski from Bayern Munich. The American defender will be joining the squad very, very soon, and that's a big reinforcement for Sky Blue in 2019. Number 3 on the list, the Houston Dash. They're next on the table on 7 points. They notched 3 points last Sunday with a 1-0 win over the Orlando Pride. Kealia Ohai scored early, and the Dash defense kept Orlando from getting a shot on goal. Houston did not have any U.S. women's national team players called up, and we'll get into that in a second. They will be losing some players to the World Cup. But right now, while the U.S. players are away and other international squads have not opened their camps yet, the Dash have an opportunity to stack up some points that could serve them very well as the 2019 season continues. So the Dash didn't lose anyone to the U.S. squad. They won't be shorthanded this weekend, but they will be losing Rachel Daly, who will be joining England for the tournament. The call-up was expected. Daly returned to the England squad in 2018 when manager Phil Neville recalled her. She played 2 matches during this year's She Believes Cup that England won, including in the draw against the United States. That'll be a big loss for Houston, but they'll still have Daly for a couple more matches as teams are still starting to open camp for the Women's World Cup this summer. Daly will be joined on the England squad by Reign FC's Jodie Taylor. The 32-year-old forward has 17 goals in 38 appearances for the Lionesses and will be looking to replicate her form from the 2017 European Championships, where she won the Golden Boot with 5 goals. Reign FC will also be missing Rumi Utsugi during the tournament as she was selected to Japan's roster. She's scheduled to join the Japan side on May 27th, so she will still be available for NWSL action until then. Utsugi will be taking on her club teammate Taylor in the group stage finale at the World Cup this summer on June 19th. Number 6 on our list, more Women's World Cup news. Sky Blues' Estelle Johnson has been called up for a pre-World Cup training camp by Cameroon's women's national team. There are 26 players that have been called into the camp. 23 will be chosen for the World Cup roster. Cameroon's preparation will continue in Spain before heading to France for the tournament. Canada has not named its roster officially as of yet, but they did call in 10 NWSL players for their send-off match against Mexico in Toronto on May 18th. They're expected to announce their roster immediately afterwards. 4 Houston Dash players are part of that roster: Alicia Chapman, Sophie Schmidt, Nichelle Prince, and Lindsay Agnew. Diana Matheson and Desiree Scott of the Utah Royals are part of the Canadian roster, along with Christine Sinclair of Portland, Stephanie Labbe of North Carolina, Shalina Zadorsky of Orlando, and Kaylin Sheridan of Sky Blue. Number 7 on our list, Reign FC. They're currently in 7th place in the table after another draw, this time a scoreless one on the road against the Washington Spirit. They did announce on Twitter this week, though, that Jessica Fishlock will be returning to Reign FC after the UEFA Champions League final later this month. She's expected to be available for their match on May 27th. The Spirit, they've only allowed 1 goal in 3 matches this season. It's the second best defense in the league, and we'll get into one of the reasons why for number 8 on our list. That number 8 item is the NWSL Player of the Week, Aubrey Bledsoe, goalkeeper for the Washington Spirit. Kept the clean sheet in that match last weekend. She had a lot of work to do as well. She made 9 saves against Reign FC in that one. Aubrey Bledsoe made 108 saves in the 2018 NWSL season. She's picked up right where she left off, and she has to be considered among the elite goalkeepers in the NWSL. Let's look ahead to this weekend's action, week 5 of the NWSL season, and the biggest match on the board is this afternoon, Utah Royals hosting the Houston Dash. The Dash will be missing forward Veronica Latsko for the rest of the season. She suffered a left knee injury in training this week. Can the Dash get on the board against the Royals? They have yet to concede in the 2019 season. Nicole Barnhart, perfect through 270 minutes so far. Can she maintain that against a Houston team that has scored, but hasn't scored in huge numbers? Kealia Ohai will be looking to repeat her performance from last week, where she got an early goal and the Dash back line made it hold up. And our final item on the list, North Carolina. They're going to try to keep pace on Sunday as they head to Bridgeview to face the Chicago Red Stars. Chicago had an injury announced this week as well. Alyssa Mounts tore her ACL in training on Tuesday. She's out for the rest of the season. In the other 2 matches of the weekend, Sky Blue will host the Washington Spirit at Rutgers University this afternoon at 3 o'clock. And the Orlando Pride will host a rested Portland Thorns squad who had last week off. That match is tonight at 7:30 at Orlando City Stadium. In addition to the league play this weekend, the U.S. women's national team is in action on Sunday as they host South Africa at Levi's Stadium in the first match of their send-off series ahead of the World Cup this summer. That match will kick off just after 4:30 p.m. Eastern Time on Fox. All of your NWSL action you can watch on Yahoo Sports. Thanks, everybody, for listening. Greatly appreciated. We'll be back next week to recap the week that happened in the NWSL and look ahead to the upcoming weekend. We'll see who's at the top of the table as we go into week 6. Thanks for listening.